You raise the issue of trade policies, of course, in the core also of UNCTAD. The question of visibility, the question of small and big countries which are challenged in a different way. Thank you so much. Ms. Spinu from US.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali Spinu and I'm the CEO of Export Portal. It's a marketplace, B2B, blockchain related, and we are helping SMEs to export and import worldwide through our system. I will be speaking from the practical point of view because we have to deal a lot with cybersecurity and cyber laws and how they interconnect globally. Someone said here that e-commerce doesn't have borders, and that's true, but whenever you are an owner of the platform, you still have to think about those borders because there are no yet standards that are unified across the globe. So the way I see the cyber issues from the perspective of e-commerce, I will start with some data. 34.5% of all the cyber crimes are happening from e-commerce websites because they own data, critical data about the financial aspect and personal aspect of the users. Also, there was a statistics done that 71% out of each 855 data breach happening worldwide are happening from the e-commerce websites. I will speak about the security issues from the perspective of a global e-commerce platform, and the way we see it, as I said, jurisdiction is a big issue in on our side, is because again, we sometimes have to comply with the national laws and still think how do we make that product or that data flow across the border and still comply with that other regulation when you don't have yet unified rules to go by, and that's difficult to do from the side of the platform. The way we see the burden in regards to the jurisdictions, I see layers that policymakers have to think about, right? There should be a burden put on the ownership of the e-commerce website or platform, whatever it is. There should be national unified rules that also are hand-to-hand with international regulations of the data protection. Then another challenge that exists and everyone kind of doesn't want to think about it or talk about it is the loss of evidence after a cyber crime happens. It's very hard to go and point finger who did that, and if they are somewhere in another part of the world, how do you put that person to be, even if you found, how do you put, what kind of law do you apply when it comes to make them responsible or him responsible for that? And another change, and we have heard so much now in the news about is the data storage issue that exists internationally. Some countries say no, you will store the data in my country, and you are not allowed to use the equipment produced in the US or another manufacturer. And being an international platform, how do you play that game when you have to do that? And one more is the data protection rules when it comes to the payments. There is no integrated standard by which you are going to, we are going to follow in regards to protecting the financial information of the users.
Thank you very much. A whole list of borders exist, loss of evidence.